Okay, so let me continue where I left it. The camera turned itself off. So yeah, so I made a book club because I wasn't finding that the books that I was reading in the other book clubs that I went to were books like this, stories that really leave you pleased when you reach here, the last chapter. You don't feel like you waste your time reading the whole thing. You feel like you added a valuable experience to your life. The books that I read in the other clubs didn't make me feel like that. So I thought, you know what? Book club, a fun fiction book club that with a host that picks fun books is something that is needed. I can do it. I can do it with my reading list, so I decided to do it, and I began doing this. And right now I'm giving you the discussion for the second book, which is Son of the Wanderer, the second book in the Unicorn Chronicles. So, okay, so I already told you the chapters I like the most. The protagonist, Kara, the character grew so much in this story. Like she felt like, and I don't want to say like a chicken, because she did do a brave thing, or a couple of brave things in the first book. But in the first book, she felt like a protagonist that was more scared than open to what she was experiencing. In the second book, you can tell that she is, a more experienced character that is learning new skills, that has a new perspective. She's the same person, they don't change her. She's still the same Kara, but she is growing, and you can see that her character becomes more interesting. Also, you can see that she's pretty smart. She has some really good ideas throughout the story. She is the character that gets the best ideas, I would say. She had the idea, they don't have clocks, and she needed to mark the days because she needed to know how many days had passed, to know if she had time left or not. And she got a stick, and every day she began making a mark on the stick to make it a calendar, basically. That was a pretty good idea. There were many other good ideas, like the dialogue between her and the dragon when they were bargaining, when she had to convince the dragon. That was pretty smart. I really liked that chapter, and the dialogue that she had with the dragon, that was good. In general, I feel that the character, the protagonist, was very important, obviously. The whole story revolves around her. Became a much better character in this second book. So in this second book, if you ask me who is your favorite character, in the first book my favorite character was Lightfoot, by way far, the unicorn. And I think the second one was a dragon, the other dragon, Fire-Throat. And the third one was Kara, but she was in the third one very far from the other two. And in this second book, I find her more interesting than Lightfoot. So she obviously has, learned a lot. The character has gotten much more interesting. The things she does this time, they show you that she's smart. She's still scared of many things. They haven't changed her. She's still the same character, but she's smart. So you care more about her. You like her more because you can see that this protagonist has a lot more to offer to make the story better. And I do think that she made the story better in book 2 with what she does. So Finder was an interesting character. And during the first half, I think that my favorite character was Finder in a tie with Kara. The second half of that changed because Finder took like a backstage position, and he wasn't as important anymore. So at the end, there are other characters that I found more interesting. Moonheart, I didn't like the character Moonheart. Until the parts with the bargaining with the dragon and what came after that, when you find out the past of this unicorn and what he went through and who he is, and you see what he does, you kind of like the character a little better. Still not more than Finder. I think that Finder is more likable, for my taste, from my point of view. Finder is still more likable. Belle, I don't care too much about Belle. You know, she's okay. She's okay. Meadowfield was a very fun character. I think my favorite character in the book is the protagonist in a tie with Meadowfield. Meadowfield was pretty interesting. The second one is probably the dragon again. The dragons are they're pretty well thought out in these books. I can see someone else easily seeing the dragons as their favorite characters in these books. They are, interesting. This one, Evelyn, is much different than the one in the first book. So I think that also made it more interesting. I think that's it. The ending of the second book, it sealed the deal. I wasn't sure yet if I had chosen the right saga to get a book club, a fun fiction book club started. But when I finished the second book and I got to the end, let me tell you, I don't have any doubts. I'm sure that this was the right decision to start this book club. It would have been a good decision to start any other fiction book club as well. And this right here, this is the third book. I already read, the first 5 chapters. It's not disappointing, it's getting better, which is great. And if you are a little bit older, like me, and I am in my 20s right now, and this book is supposedly for teenagers, but the story is pretty good. So anyone can enjoy this story and anyone can learn something from it. But if you are like me, a little bit older, you're gonna like this third book a lot. Because from what I'm seeing from the beginning, they're taking more time to tell you the backstory of the older characters, like the hunter from the first book. There are many more adult characters, and they are taking, they are not the protagonists. Kara is still the protagonist, but they are taking more importance as if they were secondary protagonists, and I identify myself more with those characters, so I am enjoying it even more. And the ending of the second one made me realize that I'm going to keep this in my library, like in my books. So I like the ending. I enjoyed reading the first book, and then the second book. I wasn't sure about the second book until I got to the part with the dragon, and when I got there, after that, I was like, this is it. Deal is sealed. It does deliver. It does deliver. So make sure you go into it spoiler free, so you can enjoy it. If you don't go into this spoiler free and you know the big spoilers, it is not going to be the same. It won't be the same. So if you want to see reviews or something, look at the stars in Amazon, but don't read the reviews because you won't enjoy as much. So, okay, right now I'm going to do the discussion with the philosophical ideas and stuff, which is based on it's using the book, but it's not based on the book. And this is going to be it for my discussion on the plot and the characters. By the way, the plot gets better in the last 1/3. Without a doubt, it gets better. From the beginning, you can see that there are going to be interesting things. If you read the names of the characters, you know that they are going to meet Beloved. Beloved is a central character. Is so far the main villain. So far. But yeah, you know that there's going to be interesting stuff going on and happening, but the author doesn't get there in the second book until about the last 1/3. So the first 2/3, they are okay, they are good. They are continuing the story with the characters from the first book, but you don't get to the really good stuff until you get here, the last 1/3, and you won't be disappointed after you get there. So there you have it. If you want a good fiction saga, a good fiction story that you can read, and then you can come back here and you can discuss it with me, because I already read it, so I know it, I'm not gonna forget about it. You can get the Unicorn Chronicles. Highly recommend it. I highly recommend it if you like reading. If you like reading fun books that don't make you reach the end with a face that says, oh no, why did I read this crap? I shouldn't have read this. This made me feel the complete opposite way. When I reached here, the last chapter, I was glad. And I thought, you know what? Great. Great experience. I enjoyed it. This is what a book club on fiction, on the best fiction books should be about. So this is what my reading list is about. And this is what I'm going to be discussing with anyone that reads it and comes here to discuss it with me. So I think I'm gonna do I probably have time. I'm going to do the second video with the 37 ideas that I learned from the second book. So let's get to that right now. Let's get to it. Let's get to it.